am 28.
22.
I'm 31.
31.
26 years old.
26 years old.
I work as a registered nurse, and I actually work for a visiting nursing association.
I'm a graphic design major at NJCU.
I work my full-time job doing sales and marketing for a local microbrewery, and then I work in entertainment for Universal, and I do different modeling and acting jobs.
I'm a psychologist and I practice psychotherapy.
I'm a professional athlete. I train full time, and that's basically my work.
As I progressed through graduate school and through internships and practicum, I realized that our faith, that part is equally as important as your brain, your relationship with your family and friends.
I've always been relationship driven. I want to be surrounded by, good people, upstanding people, people that know themselves.
The sport and the lifestyle I live is everything that I do.
So meaning, it's super important, especially for young people.
I grew up going to church, very involved in church.
My mother was much more spiritual in the sense that it's like, you have to work on your own soul.
We would go to church on Sundays, but it wouldn't be something that would be forced.
My parents, they did not prioritize religion at all.
Maybe they should have forced us a little bit more with that if they wanted us to really be into it, because me and my brother really didn't keep it up as we got older.
Probably about my senior year in high school, you kind of learn these things about the world. I kind of moved away from what I learned as a Christian, and I started to explore a lot of these nature-based faiths. So when I pray, it's more like me expressing my gratitude to something bigger than myself.
I do go to services every Sunday. I enjoy it because I appreciate the messages. It's something that I take into training.
I started saying my own affirmations.
I try to meditate, but I feel like I need to bring it back to the now and the present.
There's not that positive reinforcement always going on in your inner monologue, then things kind of fall apart. I went through a period several years ago where I went into a really deep depression. I had to do something that changed my perspective of life, and I found that in making happiness a priority.
For me, happiness is something that you work on every day, and you have to be conscious about when you feel happy.
I think about happiness daily, several times a day, and I make the conscious choice to be happy, to choose happier thoughts.
You have to put in the work to be happy. It's not something that's going to come to you magically.
You could have everything external in the world that most people would think would make them happy, but if you aren't happy inside, then it doesn't mean anything.
Happiness for me is being able to make ends meet to continue to do what I love right now, and being able to be with the people that I enjoy being with.
Having a network of outside voices that are positive.
Now I feel like I really keep myself more in the present.
I think that's my idea of what happiness is, just being content with yourself.
I'm happy. I think my goal really for the upcoming year is just to reinvest in being a better version of myself and putting more care into things that are important to me.
My future will begin when I fully break into my own independence.
I've become the person I want to be for the most part, but I still feel like there's change.
There's definitely hopefulness.
Joy,
I feel like everything's constantly changing.
anxiety,
There's a lot of anxiety.
A hunger almost.
a driving force, and sometimes an appropriate force when you're transitioning in life.
Much as I know I need to sacrifice friendships and social connections, that's something that I do want someday more of.
Losing people over the years because you're so dedicated to your career, now you're trying to develop new relationships and trying to reconnect with those folks, and it's much more of a difficult process.
When you're 20, you're finishing college, then you're still in your early 20s, you somehow have this limbo where it's acceptable to fool around and figure things out.
At 30, 31, I had expected all that should sort of been fit into place already, and it doesn't seem like that's happening right now. So the anxiety is built around that.
I do fear that like something can happen or just something doesn't work out where I would have to do something besides the sport.
The idea of having kids, like, I feel that biological clock, I really do.
The fear of failure and investing so much time and money and not succeeding is terrifying. Within the next, I'd say 3 to 5 years is sort of the next window for me. And I hope to have a home of my own.
Having a home for myself, with my own family.
I definitely want to get married, and I want nothing more than to have children.
Idealistically, I'd have the white picket fence and the 1.5 kid and all. I want to be financially stable.
Saving for the long term,
A
and
career that I'm happy with.
I want to be better at what I do, and there's no end mark for that.
I want to go across the world and see other things and learn about other people.
To learn about myself and to
Learn how to be alone and be comfortable with it.
the ideas that people have about millennials are stemming from a lack of understanding.
We get labeled the entitled generation.
this is the generation of me and expecting everything to come to you and stuff like that. And in a way, I think that's good. Let's stop being miserable for most of your life and then retiring. And then you can live a good life after you're 60. Like, no, why should we have to do that?
We are very unlike the generations that came before us.
There always used to be like a standard, whereas now there's more options. There's not one particular way to be happy or to lead your life in a positive way.
We want to make changes to our society, things that were norms. I think that's what this generation's focal point is changing.
Let's have a good life throughout our lives, a good life.